Good afternoon, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on Facebook and those who follow the videos on YouTube and with my short reels, and also for those who follow my TikToks, short reels under HCS on TikTok. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Displaying my little wool shirt here today, and I'm also displaying I buy from a friend this cap here. It's got a wolf on it. It's a native cap. It's got a wolf in it, and like a dream catcher. I'm displaying this for today. Uh, I wanna have my cousin Jesus Carbajal Jesse pop on the feed with me if whoever wants to view what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about a lot of things of what the viewer sees and what I'm experiencing when I'm out there doing my spiritual lives and the things that happen afterwards. When we place ourselves out there spiritually, there's things that can happen when we're out that happen when we're out there, and things that happen afterwards, after the investigating. Okay, I'm gonna bring cousin Jesse on. Thank you all for tuning in. How you doing, brother Gary? We got, let me see, what brother Gary here. How you doing, brother? I'm gonna bring in cousin Jesse right now. Send an invite to him. See if he can join in. Now that I showed off my shirt of the wolf, I'm gonna put on my beads of protection on. I hope everybody's doing great. There you go. How you doing, cousin Jesse? How you doing
What's
this
up,
evening?
Primo? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good too, cousin. You seen I was displaying my little wolf shirt. I got this cat. I have a friend that sells all kinds of native stuff. I got one with an eagle also. I haven't worn that one, but I like buying stuff from him. So he always gives me good deals, so I buy them from him. This is the cap. It's got a wolf in
I
it
like
with Dreamcatcher.
I like the gear, man. It looks
Yeah,
good.
thank you, thank you. And I have another friend that makes shirts, like those tanker shirts that I wear. And I was thinking, I was gonna ask him, you can make me one for my group, create a shirt for my group. I need to talk to him about it to see if he can do it for me. But that's what he does. Uh, yes, cousin. Thank you for get accepting the invite. For joining. I always try to get everybody. Whoever wants to share an experience or the story. I'll tell them if they want to go live with me to let me know, and I'll bring them on. Just like I got you on right now. To me, this is the simplest way to share our experiences. I believe sharing is caring, and everybody should know about the balance. And sometimes when there's so many things happen to us, people forget of what to do when they're in a certain situation. They because of the bondage of this DDN, demonic beings, what they can cause. So that's what I want to talk about today. Is you was here when you seen some of my live feeds, and you seen the one where I was walking in and the drone appeared.
Yeah.
Well, for those who didn't know, when that drone appeared in my live, it's about the only people that really know what's going on is those they take the time to watch the video. Well, there was a drone that appeared up in the air right in front of me, and he was recording me because I could see the light on. Well, I found out when I got home that there was a missing woman and her daughter was missing. There was an Amber Alert. So the drone was covering all that area, all the space, trying to, I guess, locate that woman because she had went into the woods. But thank God that they located the woman and that they located also the daughter. That they found her safely with no harm. Uh, what people don't understand, cousin, is the things is DDN. It's about demonic Nephilim. We could call them demons. what the capabilities are. They can create a person to be confused. Uh, they can semi-possess them or possess them, so they can work for them. In which people lose their lives. Whether it be through suicide or they take someone's life. All I remember yesterday is I was in the afternoon. I was coming home, and before I turned to my street, I heard a disembodied voice say that they were summoning me, which means that they were calling me, right? That they wanted me to be there. So the only reason I went is because of the activity that happened to my son. Like within 2 days, a lot of activity happened. Like for example, my vehicle had lost its battery power, so I couldn't use it. I had to put on cables to recharge it. Then when my son went to work, I had barely put some bolts on his bumper because his bumper was coming loose. So I put those bolts. So he said he was going to work going down a hill. He worked, and there was another car in front of him. The car in front of him had a blowout. So the tires flying and hitting the windshield, and he's trying not to hit the car. And the car lost control, and it went into it's like a rope or a cable. He got all messed up on the left side against that car. But luckily, I had put those washers with the bolts back in there, and his bumper, my son's bumper, because the tire went underneath, it stayed intact. If I wouldn't have put those bolts and the bumper was loose, only God knows what could have happened. But I thank God that nothing did happen to. When the boat survived, the guy was okay, but my son. But those are kind of things that when something's shown to you, for you to do something, do it. And to me, even though I was going through with what I was going through with my car, something within myself said, "Hey, go check out Junior's car," and I did, and I put those two watchers. What happened is where the screw goes, the holes on the bumper are missing, so I put washers there, and to make it a tighter fit, so the bumper still stayed intact. I
So,
thank God I did that. But those are
so
the
you said
things.
his
Those are
clips,
the things that can happen. Was that?
the clips on the bumper came loose?
Well, the bumper's got on the corners in the front. It's
Yeah.
got two bolts, but the bumper itself is missing the hole. The hole is messed up.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
so I put some washers with some like little.
Tuercas.
They had some little grips on them where they can stick. So that's what I replaced it with and pushed the bumper
Yeah,
into that to get a grasp of it. And
I'm glad it helped.
yeah, yeah, because the bumper didn't come loose. Uh, but that's the reasons that sometimes I go out there when I go is because it's kind of like this. People don't understand is when you go through something or you're a spiritual person and you go through something spiritually, they're always trying to draw you to go back to whether you had an experience, wherever you had an experience. Like you've told me before, cousin, where you always dream. Sometimes you have what back in Raymondville, that old house. It takes you back there sometimes, or sometimes it happens to me. Sometimes it takes me to Elms Grove. Sometimes spiritually, I go to where I was in combat. Sometimes I go to certain areas where there's this disembodied demonic beings are, and that's all that they try to attack, and sometimes through dreams, they cause a scenario within the dream, and if you believe in the dream, and if you don't wake up and say, "I rebuke in Jesus Christ's name," then it's a possibility of whatever you're seeing might happen. And there's a lot of people that don't know that when they're coming out of a dream like that, if like what I witnessed was an explosion in a vehicle, and it was me and my wife. So when I woke up, I said, I tie bound and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. That's exactly what it said. But that same day that happened is when everything happened with my son. But my son uh, came out all good because I followed what was shown to me to do. With the screws and the bolts and all that. But that's how it works. It's a spiritual. When your spirit is a king, or it's kind of like you, cousin. At one point you were trained your martial art. Your martial art was first in nature. It was a king. Where it's like it's first in nature. You know exactly what to do, how to react because you train. Well, same way spiritually, you follow your spirit, you follow what the spirit is telling you. When I got summoned, that were calling me, I'm glad I went because I got a feeling if I wouldn't have showed up, it took the distraction to me of whatever was happening with the woman and the child. Spiritually, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
That I didn't know that there was a person missing, that the devil had gone into the woods in a different location. But this DDN, that's what they want. They want destruction. So it's kind of like you've heard that saying, if they can't have you, they're going to try to take somebody else
Yeah.
that might have a spiritual opening. So when they were summoning me, that's all right. So I went with no fear. I went because I felt that somebody else might be in danger because of what already happened with my son, that he almost got in that accident. And there's numerous times that I sense that something's going to happen, and things have happened where uh, they're, spiritually trying to get me to go over there where there's activity around the house. Um, and they're trying to draw me back out there. When I don't go, it's like things do happen in the same neighborhood to other people, and that's how should I say, mischievous you are. They can get you. They're going to try to get somebody that has a spiritual opening.
So
When
do you
that's
think that's why the portals were open when you walked in there?
I believe so, because in those portals right there, what I witnessed, I got a picture of something in the path. I haven't posted it yet, but it looks like a creature that's on all fours, that's very long, and it's in the middle of the path. I haven't posted that picture yet.
That that was
That's
the
what it
same
seems
creature
like.
I saw in front of
That's
you.
what I
That
see.
was,
Well, that's what it seems like to me on the picture. But of course, there is shade and there's light hitting at the same time, so it could possibly be an illusion, right? But I've seen that creature before and guarding that path. It's kind of like the guardian of the path, but this time it's in all fours, and it was across the whole path. Like that's how long it was.
well,
But I know there's
you
to the
went through
left.
those bushes,
Was that
it was right there in the grass in front of you, man. I saw it. It looked like a rolled up grass, but it had eyes.
on the right side
No, it was
or the
right
left side?
in front of you. When you were standing, it was on the floor in front of you, man, on the ground. It looked like rolled up grass, but it had eyes. I saw it.
Yeah, the ones that stand that people don't know on the left side of that path and the entrance, right, right there to the left side where those trees are bent. There's activity there. They be looking. They're tall and they stand right there. You can't see them because if you're looking straight level, you got to look up because they're looking down. They're looking down at you, And I have an image. I haven't posted it yet. I still have images that I still got to post, from screenshots that I took from that area, certain areas within there. But yes, I believe there is a portal there, or should I say, a different dimension when we enter there, because of the activity. I still haven't debunked the disembodied voices. They were saying things to me when I was out there making that investigation. When I was investigating, they were saying things. I still have to debunk that. I could hear them. I couldn't. I could hear like whispers, but on the video when I was looking at the taking screenshots, I could hear where they were saying things. I just have to go into it to make it louder so people could hear what they're saying. So, what do you think about that, cousin Jesse? The videos. What is it that you seen? Because you were there with me on the live. What else did you witness when
Uh, Apart from that drone, I kept hearing this
are you
little
doing, brother
clicking
Peter
noises.
Limos?
I
What?
kept hearing a lot of clicking noises when you were walking, man. And it sounded like it could have been a chicharra, but it could have been something else too.
Yeah, they do mimic. They do mimic sounds. They like mimicking sounds to fit within the environment. Sometimes I was hearing like could hear somebody saying something from a very distance, and it could possibly be an echo from the construction that was in the distance. But close to me, I could hear something. I believe I posted two pictures where there was a lot of interference, where you could literally see the face of something right there beside me.
Yes,
You see how he looked,
yes,
like
yes, I saw it. And then when your feet came back, there was a big tall one by a tree.
when the feed came back.
Yeah, there was a big tall one by a tree.
So that was it towards the end of the video or?
Right when you came back from the distortion. There was a big tall one, man, by a tree. I think it was, you were facing that way, so it was on your right hand side.
Yes. Yeah, they always cause interference. That's some of the interference they can cause for those that don't know. It's like I was looking, when I'm out there, I'm recording. I got the camera like this, but I'm looking with the naked eye to see if I can see any kind of movement or anything like that. And they don't want to be seen. The only way they'll see is through the camera. Just like I couldn't see when it destroyed my camera and it caused that delay. It caused I guess like a 2-3 minute delay. Where
It was more like a glitch.
like a glitch, yeah, like a glitch. It caused like a glitch, and it's like when I was talking, I was like time, like I don't know, like a little time warp or something. People,
Yeah, because it
people
sounded like
say,
you were slurring your words.
yeah, people can say it's a lag, but this is what happened is more than a lag because I know when I got home, it's like my vehicle. The following today I went to go start it up, and I couldn't start it up. Yes, 2 times that I've been to that area, and the same thing happened where my vehicle it drains the battery out of my vehicle, and I started it up, and I'm looking to see what could it have been if it's a battery or something. And what I've seen is a witness that instead of being on auto, the headlights it was on, and I never messed with that handle switch. So it's like they have the capabilities to mess with that. Just like when the other time it drained my battery, the emergency hazards were on, and I didn't mess with nothing like that. You know, they have the capabilities to cause accidents. That's
Well,
why.
at least it's draining your battery and not your gas. Because the other day I came home around 3 and I turned off the truck, my truck, came inside, and I went back outside at 7 and the truck was on. So it had been on for 4 hours.
Oh wow, turned
Yeah.
on by itself.
Oh, yeah, because I had the keys in the house.
So,
I went from having 3/4 of a tank of gas to half a tank of gas. I'd rather it drain my battery than my gasoline. The gasoline is expensive.
yeah, rather drain the gas and the well, the battery than and cause an accident. That they have those capabilities. They have those kind of capabilities to cause any kind of electrical problem because it drain. You start having problems with all kinds of parts from your vehicle. They can cause uh, health issues. They can cause things to happen to you if you live a spiritual opening and give them a power over it. So I just rebuke them.
It's like last night, since it's just me and my mom that stay here, I leave the light in the hallway on, the lamp in the living room, right? So about 1 o'clock, I got up to go to the bathroom. I opened the door. The damn light on the hallway was turned off, man. That's like the second time that's happened this week. So I don't know what's going on in here, man, but that light coming off is very unusual because I always leave them on.
Yeah, I've seen things they mess with all that. I remember it sounds real loud. Uh, you see how right now it's sounding real loud? Can you hear me, cousin?
I can hear you. I can hear you. No problem.
Uh,
What
that,
the
that,
heck?
was, that was a time where
What the heck?
it's like an echo.
What did I do here? Oh, there we go. Damn fat fingers.
Yeah, I remember when I was living at the old home back when I was growing up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, echo.
Yeah, it's got an echo.
Oh man, it was working just fine.
Well, you know what's going on. It's interfering.
Interfering again what I have to say. Uh, well, how about you talk for a little bit, so maybe it'll go away.
Well,
Stories, cousin.
well, let's see. Apart from the hallway and the truck being on, I was around the side of the house, and my mom said that somebody had been knocking on her window, which I didn't believe, but I went by there and looked, and it looked like they tried to come in through that window because the screen is torn, man. They've been banging on her wall, and there's damage to the wall on the siding. You
Around what
know,
time frame?
huh?
What time frame is it happening?
I must say 2 weeks ago that she heard banging, and it's usually around 2 or 3 in the morning, man. We also get she hears them knocking on the front door, and when I go and look, there's nobody there. I hear voices outside my window right here.
Yeah.
That window right there. I hear voices around 2 or 3 in the morning, man.
You ever try to report them?
No, I never tried to record them. I've also, like I said, been hearing a little bird back there.
Yeah.
But what bird's gonna be singing at 2 or 3 in the morning, man? It wants me to open the door and go back there and look, and I'm not gonna do that.
We already know what that is. How you doing, brother Ruben Mireles?
So yeah, there's a bunch of just the stuff going on. When I try to go to sleep in here, I roll over toward the window, and I hear like something dragging its feet on the. I got a wood floor, so I hear it dragging the feet, and it stops right by the side of my bed. Well, I just learned to ignore it, man. I just tell them to leave me alone and get out of here in the name of Jesus, and it quiets down. But this happens almost every other night. I'm gonna have to probably spray some holy water in here and chase them out.
Yeah. You gotta cleanse your house. Protect your place on the holy crosses in the windows and the doorways, the
I did
passageways.
that. I did that with olive oil.
Olive oil, yeah.
Oh, I also did that with the holy water that was blessed by an exorcist.
So what do you think is activities causing that? Where's it coming from?
If you really want to know, man, my thoughts on that is that my mom is still grieving from my sister and my brother-in-law being gone, and she keeps them in her mind, and these things are feeding on that energy.
Yeah.
It's like when she's here, if she's here by herself, she's always scared, so she's just feeding them that energy that they need. Oh man. Hold on, cousin. Somebody's knocking. It's probably the Mormon, man. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
give him the heel. Hold on a minute. Yeah, she just said there was somebody knocking on the door. There's nobody here. You know what I mean? We're talking about it. It happened.
Yeah.
We're talking about it. It happened.
Can
There's
you
nobody
hear me?
here, man. Huh?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Hold on a minute, man. Let me go get my water bottle and I'll come sit in the living room
Let
so
me
I
put
can
on
see you.
my headset. Maybe.
¿No era nadie, señora? Estaba oyendo cosas de vuelta.
Oye,
Ah,
a las 4 de la mañana ya casi querían tumbar la pared.
you hear that,
I
cousin?
heard.
4 de la mañana.
El
Yo
poor,
no me quise levantar a hablar.
el poor.
Let me see if this is better.
I can hear you good now.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
No more echo?
No more echo.
Oh wow.
I also changed locations, man. I came to the
Yeah.
living room to keep an eye on the door now to see if they're gonna come back and knock.
Yeah. But you can hear me now.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
coming in
that's
crystal
crazy.
clear?
I put on the head earpiece on. I'm not hearing the echo no more. Well, a little bit, I guess.
I'm not hearing none at all.
So y'all been catching a lot of activity at 4 in the morning?
Yeah, I was reading into that, man. It's like they say that if you wake up anywhere between 2:30 and 3:30, it's because something's standing by your bed watching you. I
Yeah.
wake up at that time every day, man. And
I've been
like I
hearing those
said,
birds that you're talking about, like around 3 in the morning, 3:30, making different noises. You know, I can understand maybe they make one noise, you know, like one sound, but they're making different noises
yeah.
around 3:30, 4 in the morning.
And you know what's funny? I hear them. I hear them by the bathroom. Okay. And if I come to the front door and open the front door, I hear them in the tree in the front yard too.
How you doing, Prima Maria T. Hernandez? How you doing?
So yeah, man, we got a lot of activity because there's a lot of in this yard, Primo. There's a lot of dark shadow beings. The backyard is full of them, and the front yard is full of them. I don't know why, but both yards are full of the dark shadows, man. The dark shadow people.
For those viewers here of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, we have seen a lot of shadow figures since a very long time, since we were kids. Growing up, we was always running into them down in South Texas.
Hey, you know what's funny, man? Now that I'm talking to you, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but back there by the back gate, I see one that's about 6 feet tall, and it looks like it's a shadow figure, but it looks like a werewolf.
I've seen those beings. I see some that look half human, like from the neck down, and wolf from the face. In Ramonville, when I was 17, I went to the
Like the one,
church. I went to the church for the priest to help me. Yeah.
like the one I saw in Mississippi that melted into the shadow of a what do you call that? A module. It was at night, and we were chasing it because we saw it walking around in the grain storage, in the seed storage, and they
Hmm.
were chasing it with a truck. Everybody was armed, and except me, I'm running down, I'm running down the dirt road with just a sheetrock knife in my hand, you know. And then I feel something, and I stop, and I see this big dark shadow, and then it falls down on all fours and just melts into the ground.
Cousin, I got a question for you. What do you think about all these dark shadow beings or DDNs or Bigfoots or dogmen? Do you think they're good? There's some people that believe that they're good. Do you believe that they're good?
If your senses don't react to them, then they're not there to cause you ill. But if your senses and your hair stand up when you see them, then they have a ulterior motive and a bad purpose for you.
An agenda. Uh,
Yes. And like I said, man, it walked back into the shadow of that module, and I approached it. And when it melted into the ground, I ran up there to see what was there. And it was gone. But it was huge, man. It was about as tall as that module.
yeah, they're very tall. I've seen one of those shadow figures attack my grandfather on my dad's side in the chicken coop.
I
The
remember you
freaking
said
the chickens were quacking. There were chuck, and he's saying that there was a possum in there. So he went to go in there, grab a stick, and said, "I'll be right back." He was already old. He was like 75, 80 years old. He walked in there, and you start hearing him scream in pain, you know. So I was like 5 years old, grab a little stick, and I was thinking, I'm gonna go scare the taquache, you know. I walked in there, and what I witnessed, I was looking for the taquache, but I see my grandfather elevated in the air. I mean, he was a tall man, but he was elevated in the air, and scratches were just coming on his body.
oh wow, it was jacking him
Blood,
up, man.
He was bleeding. And he already had scratches on his face and his neck and his body. They were just coming out of nowhere. And I'm looking, and then I seen this dark shadow with red eyes, huge, massive. People might call them Bigfoots, but to me they're demonic.
Yeah, they are demonic, man. They're
And
disembodied Nephilim.
exactly, they were tall, and it looked at me, and it dropped my grandfather, and he came at me in smoke form, and it was coming straight at me, and I could always feel the presence of the angels around me, and the Heavenly Father. So instead of coming and hitting me, he went out the window. It made a little hole, like a little
Wow.
hole, and all the smoke went out the window. By then, it's like I could hear my other uncles and my grandmother, what's going on? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? What's going on? And I'm just saying, bulto negro, bulto negro.
Yep.
My grandfather
You know
comes
what?
out of there, all scratched up, all messed up, and he just puts his head down. He can't even look me in the face. And he says, no, it was a tacuache. But he knew that,
He knew you'd see.
he knew it was what I was saying. And he just put his head down, and they took him to the hospital, dude. He came back all stitched up.
You know what I was thinking right now, Primo, to that one I saw in Mississippi? I actually saw it walking around where the packs of cotton come out that they grab with the forklift,
Yeah.
and it was tall and it had the head of a wolf, but it was tall. It was about, I'm gonna say 7, maybe 8 feet tall, and I'm the first one who saw it, and I told my then son-in-law, "Hey man, you see that?" And he goes, "Wow, what is that?" I go, "It looks like a damn werewolf." Is what it looked like.
Yeah,
But we had that negative vibe, man, because that company, they provided housing. They put us in this big old house in the middle of a cemetery.
where was this at?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. That's where I had. Well, we used to go work up there by Arkansas. That's the same place. Mississippi, Arkansas is nearby, and I remember seeing something like that out there in the cotton field. I was working in one of the cotton fields from Luis's boss, and Sylvia was there too. And I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, man. I was young. I can't remember how old I was. Can you hear me still? It sounds like an echo.
No, I hear you perfect. There's no echo, man. Yeah, man, that thing was like grayish black in color.
That's my dog's barking up. So it was pretty tall. They manifest in those beastly forms. They can manifest to look like a werewolf. They can manifest to look like what people call Bigfoot. It can even manifest to look like a goat man. Whatever beastly face he wants to take, it'll take. He can manifest to look like somebody you know.
I laughed about it for about a week after we saw it, because I actually wanted to fight it. You know me, man. You know me. I actually wanted to fight it, man.
It's not gonna fight you fair, man. It's gonna. You can defeat something in the spirit like that through fighting.
That's why I was laughing, because I said, "Coward!" It disappeared into the ground when I was gonna get him.
Yeah.
Man, I know better now.
That's what they do. They want to see if they can find an opening. Yes, a spiritual opening, so they can attack you spiritually. That's how cowardly they are. That I've had some manifest and come at me and try to, how should I say, give me offers, but I stay faithful to God, and I rebuke him in Jesus Christ's name.
Yeah. I think that's probably what happened to my dad, man. Because what I heard is that he split his spirit in two.
Mm-hmm.
and his spirit that came out of his body was what he used to go out and do bad stuff with to other people. And then when he tried to reclaim his spirit, it wouldn't come back to him, man. As a matter of fact, that part of his spirit, it still
But
hangs out in the alley where he used to live. It stands still under that light post that's in that alley. You can see it. That was when he started to lose his mind.
I remember some things of this DDN. You talk about portals. I remember a portal down there in Raymondville, so in a field. It's actually a portal, but a hole in the ground that goes into Earth itself. And I
I never
remember
seen that.
a lot of dirt flying around. Like it's like a big old remolino in that field all the time. Well, that's the location where the portal is at. I
The
remember this dark being that came out of there because I think it was me, my brother, and my dad when we were young. And I seen that being, and he wanted my dad to take us out. So they started fighting, that whatever it was. But he wanted him to do bad things. That's what his mission. He wanted us to all do bad things.
You remember the clown house that was there in that dirt road? They had all those palm trees going toward the house.
The what?
It was a house where they said that killer clowns lived in. They had
Oh,
palm trees all the way on the sides in the driveway going toward the back, and it was off a dirt road next to a field. The people said that if you went there, you get killed by clowns. Well, that place, it's all covered with woods now, man. You can't even get back into the house. Just like the roadside park, it was completely demolished. There's nothing there anymore.
they took it out. A lot of bad
They
things
took
are
out that
happening
park.
there. A lot of people died there, man.
Hey, man, I remember one time, man, that I was walking home and this cow scared the hell out of me because it moved real loud, and I jumped like maybe 5 feet to my right. And when I jumped those 5 feet to my right, man, this white lechuza came by and barely missed my left leg, man.
Oh, man.
If that cow hadn't scared me, man, it would have hit me dead center in my body, man.
It's a white lechuza.
Yeah. You know what, man? I got a lot of those experiences, man, because I was always walking home, man. The 2.5 miles to the house. Always lit. You know what I mean, man? I was always, man. So, yeah, I was always feeling good on the way home. Just like the time me and Joe were walking home, and these 3 Mexican guys came out from the other side of the road, and they told me and Joe they liked our shoes, and I kept walking, but Joe having a big mouth. Next thing you know, man, we did those 2 miles in less than 5 minutes. We were running, man. Oh,
They were coming after y'all.
yeah, they were trying to rob us, man. We got to the ranch, and we slept in the laundry room, man, in the cot. And we were looking through the shutters, dude. We could see him looking around for us. Oh, Joe and his big mouth, man. But yeah, man, I almost got hit by a car walking home out there, and I turned around, and right when it got to that little yellow flashing light on the other side of the roadside park, the car disappeared, man. It was a Cadillac.
Yeah, there's a lot of strange activity over there in South Texas. I remember down those little creeks or where the water that's on the west side over there towards the fields.
Oh, there by where Mary is?
Where the Cachacatan is, further out
Yeah.
there.
Over there by where my baby mama lives, man. She lives right next door to the.
Way out there in the country.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I remember one time, it's when I had that LTD, the Ford LTD. I was driving and I seen a pile of like somebody had burned something, right? So when I went up there to the pile, I started seeing like pictures of us, like of our family and my brothers and sisters. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
looking, and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, like somebody was doing did like a science or something, you know. So I was looking at all the stuff that was our belongings that they had burned it out there. It was in a circle,
Oh, wow.
and to the distance there was some people working in the field, right? They were far. So when I looked down and I look up, there was a guy standing right beside me,
Oh, wow.
and he had a smile on his face. And he says, "What are you doing here?" And he had a smile on his face. I said, "Well, I'm just looking at this. It belongs to us." And then I look back down and I look to my right, and he's not there no more. He's back
Oh,
way
yeah.
over there. So I don't know if it was real people that were working in the field or it was spirits of people
The past.
of the past. Yeah,
There's a lot of that in Raymondville, man, because half of that place over there, they're nothing but wizards and warlocks, man.
I know. I know.
Like I said, my friend Juan, he's got that. He was in his bloodline, man. His grandma was a witch, and he's a warlock. Well, he was, man. Diabetes is whooping his ass now.
Do you think it's him visiting you in the form of the bird?
It could be, man, because you know, like that one time I dropped him off, and I went home. I lived at the Rock Course, man. And the next day, he told me every twist and turn, and when the dog attacked me, and he wasn't with me, man. So how could he know what happened to me and which way I took? But he said, remember when you looked up and you saw that white bird? I said, yeah. He goes, that was me. I was following you. So he had the power to shapeshift.
Shapeshift. This what are they called? The native shapeshifters. It's got a certain name. What is the Spanish name that they got?
Un curandero?
Oh, not curandero. They got a different name. Uh, I can't remember the name on top of my head.
I'll just call it a
That they have the abilities. Well, yeah, they're like brujos, curanderos, warlocks.
medicine man?
Huh?
Medicine man? Medicine
Yeah,
man?
but they got a different name. They're kind of like they're shapeshifters, but they're a Spanish descent.
I don't remember the name, man.
I can't remember the name on top of my head right now. Uh, but I believe there was a lot of those down there in South Texas.
Well, our family has a lot of Indian blood in our family, man.
Yeah, I
On
know.
on your mom's side and my mom's side, there's a lot of Indian blood.
I remember there was one evening where there was this native sitting in the corner pole right there in our house. There was a pole, and he was sitting Indian style right there. He had the the feathers and everything, you know, like a chief.
He
And
had
he
his
was
regalia on.
he had all his gear on, and he was chanting something. So my dad went out there. He had the Bible in his hand. He started praying against them, and whatever it was started changing voices of animals and stuff. You know, I believe it could have been either a shapeshifter or a DDN. When he walked back inside the house, he was scared. You could see he was pale. And my mom asked him, "What does it want?" And he told her he he wants me. He said he offered me everything in the world, but I have to do one thing. I have to kill everybody.
Wow. No, man,
So
it's like that.
so there had to be a demon of some sort, I believe, because they
Yeah,
can manifest it to look into certain things, you know.
that chanting, man, that Indian chanting. When my mom was agonizing and dying, I could hear an Indian chanting, and then they would knock on the door, man, and I would have the door open, and you could hear the doorbell and them knocking on the screen door, and the door open, and you couldn't see nobody, man, but you could hear that Indian chanting.
I've heard some stories from this guy that contacted me. Was He went to school with me, and he was telling me that there was a lot of people that I knew that were like football players and stuff that they were into that
Santeria.
Santeria or La Muerte and all that. That they were
Yeah,
involved in all that.
my ex son-in-law is into the Santísima Muerte. He
Yeah.
carries a pendant on his chest of the Grim Reaper. And I told him, hey man, I don't know why you're doing that. That thing that you got on your chest, it will betray you. That's what it's known for. It will betray you, and you will die.
Yeah.
Because when I was a younger man, I went around with a palero and went to many ceremonies. And I seen him make a woman that had never walked. I saw him make her walk. I seen him cure somebody that couldn't talk. The only thing I didn't like about that religion was the senseless slaughter of innocent animals. Because the spirit that he had working with him required a blood sacrifice. I just didn't like the senseless slaughter of innocent animals, man. But I'd rather be animals than what they really wanted was human blood.
Human blood. There's a lot of people that are being deceived right now by that.
So I finally quit hanging out with that guy, man, and he was a palero, man. He had everything, all his collars, man, and he could get a bird in his hand and open his hand and talk in some kind of African words, and he'd go like this, man, and the bird wouldn't fly out of his hand just by the power of his will. The bird was stuck to his hand; it couldn't fly.
Yeah, there's a lot of how should I say, necromancy and witchcraft that have been practiced through the centuries. Where people have made deals with his demonic beings or DDNs for power. There was many of those kind of people down there in South Texas that make deals. That's where we get the generational curses from. That it follows.
Yeah.
It starts to follow from generation to generation.
I was always so angry when I was a teenager. It was probably because I believe, man, and this is just me believing. I don't know if it's fact or not, but I believe that when I was born, my daddy sold my soul to the devil because it's been after me since I was a little kid, man. That's just
Yeah,
my belief.
yeah. You still can give it power, because you're your own person, just like I'm my own person, But I know that people that are affiliated in that nature that make deals where they can send. Well, I'll call that the soul keeper or the soul collector. They'll send the soul collector to somebody within their family to buy time. They'll send it to a family member, son, daughter, brother, sister, to somebody. I remember somebody in my family did that on my dad's side. They send it to the soul keeper or soul collector to one of my uncles, and
You know what?
things started happening to him. He started getting possessed, demonized by it.
You speaking like that, man? That's probably what happened to my mom and all her brothers, man. Because one right after the other, they died, man. After my mom died, Rick died, Uncle Joe died, Uncle Tony died. I think somebody sent a soul collector after them, man.
Yeah, so somebody within that bloodline, you know, uh, we know is not their mother or their father, so it has to be somebody related to them, probably an uncle or aunt.
You know who I think it is? and this is just me speaking, man. It's Machin and Alan's dad. I think he's the one who did that, man. Because even
Somebody.
when I see his picture, dude, even on Facebook, when I see his picture, I get chills, man. I feel danger from him, man. Just for even by his picture, I feel danger. How is it that he looks younger than his son? Yeah, have you seen a picture of Adan? Adan looks old as hell, man, but his dad doesn't look old like that, man. I think he used the life force of the other De La Fuentes, man, that to keep himself younger. But that's just my hypothesis, man.
It's possible, cousin. Something of that nature. Whether it's him or another family member, a sister from the bloodline. But it is possible that can happen. Just like when somebody sends a spiritual hit against you, witches, warlocks, they summon these demonic forces to come after you. But that's when you maintain your love foundation, place Jesus Christ first, and they can get what they want. It goes back to the sender, and when it goes back to them, it goes back 7 times fold, in which things happen to them. Without you trying to wish bad upon nobody, just you're being protected spiritually, and things like that happen spiritually.
I used to have a sword that was blessed, and then I would meditate with it and pour my soul power into it. So I could get into any fight with any spiritual being because a sword is a sword no matter what plane of existence it's in. Angels use swords, demons use swords. So if you have a blessed sword that you meditate with and you have soul energy acquired into it, then that's a good weapon, man. You can use it on any plane, on any type of uh, demon or DDN, anything like that. You can use a sword like that, man.
I have a selenite sword, but it's just made out of selenite.
You need to pour some of your energy into it, man, to make it strong.
And I have selenite little daggers that I take with me sometimes, made out of selenite.
It's like también when the first time I went to Mississippi, like I said, we lived in a house in the middle of a graveyard. You look out the windows, you can see all the graves. My door in my bedroom, it would open and close, and I could see a little white girl that was blonde, and she had blood all over her face. She would open and close my bedroom door, man, and then she would like open the door, and I see her go across against the wall and get in the closet, and then she'd come out of the closet and stand in front of my bed and tell me that all she wanted to do was dance and play. It took me a while to get used to that, man, because like I said, her face was all full of blood. It came from her head, man. Her head was had a big old mass of blood that was dripping down on her face. But she was blonde haired and she stood about maybe 4'5". She was a little girl, man, maybe 10, 11 years old.
Something happened to her inside the house.
Well, it was two houses to put together. But like I said, it was in the middle of a graveyard. And then on the left-hand side of the house, there was a creek that ran all the way around the property, man. It was a creek. And back there, man, I could sense a werewolf back there in those woods. I couldn't see it physically, but I could see it mentally, man. In my third eye, I could see it.
Yeah, people don't understand how strong, not sure say strong, but they have these spiritual powers where they can enter your home without even opening the door, and they have the power to elevate you up in the air without you knowing. I remember up in Anton, Texas, we were working in the fields. We're living in the ranch, and the things we're seeing, So these dark shadow figures coming to the pine trees or around the ranch, and they're pretty big and they have red eyes. To me, they look like what people call Bigfoots. And I could see them every night. They're getting closer and closer. And I guess because we're seeing it, so you're believing that it's something that is going to get more power. One day, and then one evening, I was asleep, and my brother slept with me in the bed. It was a king size bed, which was Robert. And I remember I was having this dream where I was falling, and I imagined a pillow, a mattress, so I can bounce, when I land. Well, I hit the rock bottom, and I bounced. But when I woke up, my face was pressing on something, So I thought I had fallen off the bed. I was on the floor. And when I opened my eyes to look, my face was touching the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
And when Robert woke up, he seen me up in the ceiling. I could see Robert jump off. He was like in 6th grade. He jumped on the bed, ran off the bed, and then whatever had me elevated up in the ceiling, let me drop. Boom, I hit the ground. And my mom was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. But I believe it was those disembodied demonic Nephilim in the form of Bigfoots that were trying to take me.
No, at least they put you up against the ceiling and not try to drag you under the damn bed. The way they did me.
No, when I was elevated, my face was touching the ceiling. You think about that, you think about, when people talk about UFOs, the UFOs do that, but for some reason or another, they didn't have the jurisdiction to take me, so my body, I believe I was being protected by higher power,
That was funny, man, because that thing tried to drag me under the bed, man, and it was a hand. I kept punching him in the hand, and then as soon as they let me go, man, I jumped up and turned on the light and looked under the bed. There was nothing there, but I had a big old red handprint on my calf, man, where it was dragging me under the damn bed.
Let me get my lighter. Let me get my lighter from over here real quick, cousin.
Man, I'm back.
All right, I'm back.
I drink a lot of water, primo.
I'm gonna turn on this Palo Santo, cousin, while we talk a little bit more. I know here's a viewing. I think Prima Maria, man, she's been through. She's got some stories too. I don't know if I can add 3 people on here, but she's got stories also. I want to do an interview with her one day because they that room that you said that something dragged you.
Yeah.
They used to sleep there. In that part of the house, we only had 2 rooms. Those other 2 rooms belonged to them, and they had some experiences there. In those, where you say you were being dragged.
That thing was messed up, man, because it left me a big old hand mark with claws on it, man, on my calf, man. And I didn't mind that much, man, but I was trying to get away from that smiling bone face dude that was always in the window. Over there where Beatrice used to sleep.
He had a hat on, right, all the time?
Yeah, he had a little cholo hat on, man.
Yeah.
With his red eyes.
We had red eyes? Turn on some Palo Santo here. Yeah, I remember there was one day I was falling asleep on the couch, looking out the window, and I was looking at the stars. Next thing you know, the smiley face man just appeared right there, and he's looking at me. And the only thing I could see was his white teeth and white eyes.
So he had
And he
white
had
eyes then. When I saw him, he had
when he
red.
when I seen him, white eyes. That's all I could see. The whiteness of his eyes and the white teeth, and he was going like that by the window. He wanted me to put my hand by its hand. He had the little cholo hat on, and he was going like that, and he was smiling. So I covered myself up with a blanket, and I had a little hole looking through the hole, and he was looking at me like that, like that through the. He's looking at me. Next thing you know, it moved out of the way. So I got up and I looked, but it was gone. To my understanding about that guy, or this, there was some people that had robbed the bank, and they buried a treasure somewhere there. But that's where they got killed too. They got killed.
That's what I kind of figured. There was money there.
Those guys that robbed the bank, they got killed.
You know who's got a lot of activity? My ex Mary, man, in her house, you could hear something walking in the ceiling at night. You could hear something. You could hear something running up and down the hallway in between the 3 bedrooms.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, and she lives right there by the canal, man. So on some nights you can see La Llorona.
Yeah, I know the Llorona.
Yeah.
Well, that canal doesn't exist no more, right?
Yeah, it's still there.
The one by Elsie Smith.
Well, it's around Elsie Smith, toward where your dad's house is. They covered that over there, man. But behind Elsie Smith, back up on the Stud Park, that canal still exists.
Oh wow! That goes by the Pony League Park.
Yeah, because they put the water plant over there, and on that side by the Pony League Park. It's not over there by Olga's anymore. The water plant.
Yeah, because the pipes were made out of asbestos. That's why they tore it down.
Well, that's where the new water plant is, man. Over there by about down the street from the Rodriguez's house. You know the Rodriguez that live right there on the other side of Elsie Smith, on the corner, by the canal. Just you cross the canal and the water plant is right there.
Trying to put some Palo Santo to get rid of any kind of negative energy. It's kind of like after I left that area, man. All kinds of crazy stuff started happening. You know, like with my vehicle.
I haven't been right, man, since I got attacked in my truck, man. That I got possessed. I haven't been right, man. I'm still.
So what do you remember of the time that you were being possessed?
I picked up Chuki's, and it was on him, and I didn't sense it because it was on him. But when we got to the church, that I was trying to fix that golf cart, it wouldn't work. So you know, I got back in the truck, and as soon as I got in the truck with him, man, I started feeling all weak, and my head right here started hurting. And then when he got off my truck, that's the last thing I remember. I drove for about 15 minutes, man. I don't even know how I got here to the house. But when I got here to the house, I was completely drained of strength and energy, and I had a headache between my eyes, man. I was slurring my words, so I should have known what it was, but I just thought it was like my diabetes acting up. So I went and took a nap. When I woke up refreshed. So I had to go to church to a meeting, and I got back in the truck. When I got to church, that I got out of the truck, it binded itself to me, man. It was on me. When I was sitting in the church, they were singing. The more they sang, the angrier I was getting. And then I saw my mentor, my church mentor, and it was telling me to rend him limb from limb, to just destroy him physically. And I was praying for it to leave me, and finally I just got up and left the church, man, and brought it with me. I didn't want to leave it there. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'll put you down for a minute. Hold on.
Okay. Hola, prima, ¿cómo estás?
I'm back, cousin. Yeah, man, like I said, I brought it with me because I was controlling it, and I didn't know if anybody there could control it like I was controlling it. But what it wanted to do, it wanted to cause chaos, and so I brought it with me, and I let it loose here in my front yard with holy water. So yeah, that's what happened that day, man, and I ain't been right since. Every now and then, I feel weak. I'm still recovering from that because, like I said, I brought it with me, and it just wouldn't. I was driving, man, and my neck was like forward like that. And, man, I ain't got no teeth, man. I was trying to show fangs. What fangs? I ain't even got no teeth. That's what messed
Oh
me the
man,
most, man. I was trying to go like, see, I ain't got no teeth, man. What fangs, bro?
it's not a good feeling when you get spiritually attacked or semi-possessed or possessed. It's because the after effects of it, you feel it. You feel when you get spiritually attacked. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, it's not really a good feeling, man, at all. At all.
It's kind of like
You
you feel drained. All your energy is drained. You know, I remember when I got attacked in the woods in Elk Grove. Was coming from the store. I had a grocery bags, and then I don't remember nothing. There was this young boy that found me in the woods. He was coming from school. I was laid out. I was passed out. I don't know how long I was there. I don't remember. All I remember, I was there unconscious. And I was young, man. I was like probably like 34.
Yeah, it didn't make me go unconscious, man, but
It drained all my
my
energy, whatever it did, whatever attacked me. But it took me like almost 40 minutes after I got up to make it to maybe like a 50-foot, 60-foot walk to the house because I kept on falling down. Yeah, I had no energy.
yeah, no. The next day when I woke up really, really, really sluggish, man. I could barely walk. My head hurt real bad, and for some reason my neck hurt. I guess it was from trying to stick my neck out like that, dude. It was making me stick my head out like that. Like I'm talking about it, man. I'm getting goosebumps.
It, it attacks you on the neck, makes your neck heavy. It feels like you're carrying somebody on your shoulders.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't
They
know
tried to
why
attack
it
me.
was.
I got a picture of when I got attacked. I was walking in the morning, exercise when I used to live in Elms Grove, and I was doing my early morning walk like I would always do. Next thing you know, I feel something heavy on me, and that heaviness brought me to my knees. I mean,
Oh wow.
boom, I had on both of my knees on the ground, and I was trying to stand up, and I couldn't because my neck started going like this towards my inside like this, like
Not
somebody
like
was
that.
pressing on my head. So I was getting like I could feel a lot of weight on me, and I said, help me, God. And when I said, help me, God, whatever was pressing on me lifted off of me. But I got a picture because I had a camera in my hand. I had my cell phone in my hand. I guess when it brought me to my knees, my camera went off. So on the picture, you could see them coming from the sky, the ones that were in front of me. I just didn't know who was on top of me and the ones that were behind me. But it was a lot of them. I got a picture of that. I'll probably repost it again of the time that I got dropped. I made it home, but I was out. As soon as I got home, I was out all day. I mean, I had no energy.
I think the
That's
worst
it.
part was when
It's not a good feeling.
I think the worst part was when I got home that I told it to get out of my vessel, that I sprayed myself down with holy water, that then I sprayed my truck so it wouldn't go in my truck and told him that it wasn't allowed in my vehicle or on my porch or in my yard. That I closed the door. When I closed the door, you could hear somebody laughing outside, man. There was nobody outside, but you could hear somebody laughing.
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll mock you. They
Yeah,
do
well,
that. They do that on purpose to get you, see if they can get you upset, to find a spiritual opening.
yeah, I wasn't upset, man. I was just, like I said, I was just glad I made it home without it doing what it wanted to do. Because the people at the church were telling me I was in the right place for that so that they could get rid of it. But I was thinking if it comes out of me and gets into somebody that can't control it, there's going to be a massacre up in this place, man. Because they wanted to just tear people apart, man. And I think the thing that I did bad was I told my mentor what he was telling me to do, and he hasn't spoken to me right since then. He avoids me, man. He doesn't say hi or nothing. But hey, man, he should be grateful that I didn't do what he wanted me to do. Cause you know I'm more than capable of doing what he wanted me to
Yeah.
do. So yeah, nah, man. It was a totally different experience. I had never experienced anything like that.
Yeah, this DDN, or what I call disembodied demonic Nephilim demons, because they're part demons, for the Watchers. They're part affiliated with the Legion, so they're demons. And the Nephilim were the offspring of the Watchers. They got disturbed by the flood. They became DDNs, disembodied demonic Nephilim, and those are the ones that are living in the woods and stuff like that. They're not just in the woods; they're everywhere. You know. But they have those abilities. They can mimic voices. They can talk all languages.
I used to
They're
love to
tricksters.
train in the woods, man. I used to
Was
love
that?
to train in the woods. Nothing ever happened to me in the woods, man. I would always go and train by myself in the woods.
I hear with Ruben Mireles says he's got an echo.
No, it doesn't at all. That's an old message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you crystal clear, cousin.
Oh, okay.
You remember we used to go train in the woods, man? That's the best place to train is in the woods. I mean, even over here when we were kids, we lived in some government housing, and right down from there where there was a creek and a bunch of woods, we were always playing in the woods, man. We were always playing in the woods. We were just like little free spirits, man. We'd swim in the creek, and now I tell my brother Gilbert, hey, man, you let your son swim in that creek? Hell no, but why not? It was good enough for you back in the day. We would swim wherever we would find water, man. We find water, we would swim in it, man. That's how we were brought up.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably why a lot of stuff happened to us, man, because it was those DDNs that were out in the woods that they would follow us home.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. People don't understand the severity of how this DDM works. With demons, they try to pretend to be your friends, but once they find that they're waiting for the right moment to attack, and when they attack, that is the one you, the one everybody else that it can take. That's that you love.
How,
That's what it does.
how would you go about getting back a memory?
What do you mean getting back a memory?
Well, I'm sure I've told you before that when I was a youngster, I saw La Mano Peluda in a window and I was overly traumatized where I couldn't sleep. And my daddy sent me away for a year with a blind brujo. I remember the brujo picking me up and I remember him bringing me back, but I have no memory of what happened for that year that I lived with him.
Uh, Yeah, yeah, I would say pray to God to show you. You know,
He did
any
something.
anything
He
that's
did something for me.
anything that's locked, it'll open spiritually. If you know you're getting close to God, God will give you the spiritual gift to remember everything. You know, even that things that you don't remember, they'll surface up. But through the spiritual gifts of discernment, you'll remember.
'Cause, yeah, I have that whole year missing, man. I don't remember what he did to me, what we did, what we ate, where he lived, nothing, man. I don't remember nothing. And like I said, that's a year of my life that I'm missing there, man.
And you know what's weird about all this, cousin? That I could sounds like an echo on my end. So after we do this video, we might have to redo it because of the interference, and that's because I was out there in the woods.
That's probably in your phone, man.
So
Probably connected to your
right
phone.
now, I would like to type on the rebuke any negative energies that are affecting my electronics or anything around here. We type by the rebuke you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I hope it sounds better.
I heard something. Hello? Can you hear me there? Sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds
But
the same to me.
I hear something, like something trying to say something.
Think it could be on my end?
I don't know, cousin. Let me check out this. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no echo.
Yeah, every time you see
There,
something.
there it went. There's the echo right there.
Yeah, the echo.
Yeah.
I hear something like something saying something.
Well, I don't feel nothing around me right now, man. I'm calm. I'm sitting with the door open, looking outside, so I don't feel anything left or right of me, behind me, nothing.
I'm gonna put that plug back in there, see if the echo goes away. All right, I'm back.
Better?
Can you still hear the echo?
No, I don't hear an echo. I hear you
I don't
fine.
know. On my thing, it's got a little recorder thing, so I don't know if my speaker is on or what.
Check it out.
There's a little speaker emoji here, but at present nothing is happening. I'm
Could it
thinking that's
be
because I'm
the
live.
headphone? Yeah, no, man. I got this tablet, man, just for this reason, because I was having trouble with my phone on the lives and watching your live. So I got this tablet, got its own internet, so I won't have any more trouble, man, when we make videos.
Yeah, I'll try to fix this right here real quick. All right. Check it out, cuz. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this live and shut off my phone, turn it back on, and then I'm gonna try to make a live with you again. You know, part 2.
All right, now.
All right. Let me see if the echo goes away.
All right.
All right. Peace out, everybody.